Hey, it's Josh, and I just came out of surgery for reattaching the long head of my bicep into the shoulder. Apparently there was some scar tissue. They had to scrape it off as well, so they did a little digging around in there. It's a little swollen. And the day after surgery, soreness is to be expected, obviously. The nerve block that they gave me in the neck before is worn off last night. But I was able to get it by with, they gave me some nice heavy duty drugs. And I was able to get by with just a Tylenol, an extra strength Tylenol, and some ice so far. And that's worn off long ago. And what I've found is, although I will be taking taking Tylenols as needed over the next couple of days, what I've found is that by using meditation, I've been able to not block the pain so much, but sit with it, like just recognizing it like another sensation, like recognizing it as just another experience we're having without tensing up and resisting it. And that's pretty interesting. Of course, when I'm not in that focused space, when I'm not meditating, when I'm not using this as my object of awareness, I'm doing other things, it's quite distracting. It's very sore. So, I mean, it's an eye-opener as to the power of just quieting yourself, sensing into your body, being aware of sensations, and even being aware of thoughts, and being aware of what's happening without judging it or labeling it as good or bad or attaching a story to it. And this has just been, my throat's a little bit rough from the intubation because I had to put the tube down, and I'm drinking a ton of water, but it's still a little raw. But it's just been a real eye-opener as to the power of meditation. I wanted to make a video about this. I'm going to make more videos discussing meditation, because even the word meditation, people attach a certain thing to it. There's a stigma around that. They think it means like there's certain things they have to do. They have to stop their thoughts, or they have to have peace of mind, or they have to sit with their hands in a certain position and eyes closed. And there's so many sort of restrictions and regulations that sort of people attach to meditation. There's so many different forms of meditation, and I think they are all valid. Like, they all have a purpose and a use. And I've tried different, like breathing up the chakras as a form of meditation. I've done meditation focusing on the third eye, meditation focusing on expanding, opening your heart, meditation just sensing into sensations in your body, like body scanning. Following the breath is almost always a beginning or root of concentration practice leading into meditation. Mindfulness, walking meditation. So the form of meditation I've talked about before that I use is mindfulness. It's just about starting with concentrating on a focus point like your breath, which is always happening naturally without you having to make anything happen. Building from there to just be mindful of what comes up, letting thoughts come, noticing what they are without following them into a storyline, and coming back to your breath or to being present. It's really simple. Not always easy to do because it's called a practice. Like anything, it takes practice. But it's so worth it to take on as a part of your life. And that can just be sitting quietly and observing what stuff comes up. Maybe a little bit more focus of bringing your awareness or attention out of the busyness of your head and just sort of sensing a little bit more into your body or your heart is a good start. And then just sit with what comes up and let it come up. Watch it as if you're like an observer standing back and watching it as opposed to getting wrapped up in it. And let it be, and it will work itself out. Meditation has been such a gift for me going into this surgery. I was a little nervous. I don't like going under the full general anesthetic. And I had the same sort of nervous feeling going into 5-MeO with DMT, where you lose consciousness basically. Although that was very profound coming out of that experience. But I just decided to sit quietly in the waiting room and meditate. And they had the news on right in the waiting room telling us all the horrible things that have been happening. People getting killed, this murder, triple suicide murder, homicide, the next killing thing, next. What are we doing? This is why I don't watch the news. If something big is happening, I'm going to hear about it from people around, but really? You need to know about every time someone dies or someone kills someone or so. There are so many beautiful things happening in this world. This is why people create this whole agenda of bad, human nature is bad and we're going to hurt each other forever because it's history repeating. Because this is what they hear about. It's fed. The majority of people on this planet are good to their neighbors, take care of their families, do their job or serve their purpose and come home and make meals and survive and are kind. The vast majority. And we hear about the horrible stuff as if it's like all the time. Like, put some balance and perspective on this. A little bit of a side angle there. But I had to put that out there. People, we're living in a beautiful world. We're in a beautiful existence. We're beautiful, kind, caring people at heart. That is human nature. And we get distracted by the ego and all this just crap around us, and many of us get pulled into thinking we have to arm ourselves and wait and guard against all the badness out there. But really, if you can come from a place of kindness and goodness in you, you'll attract that in others. That'll start being your reality. And meditating has been a great avenue for reaching that place, that true self. You'll find that when you can quiet yourself, our human nature is good. We are kind people. We are humankind. We are kind humans. So meditating, going into the surgery was such a gift. And I was able to slow my heart rate and just be present and just be quietly go into lying down, putting the needle in, nerve block in, boom, 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 meditating in. And right before I went in under and passing out, I told them, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And out. So today, and the pain peaking at the utmost degree of pain coming into the arm, before I took my pain pills, I'm like curious, how would it be if I practiced meditating with this sensation? Can I be in a state of non-resistance to even this? And I feel it for sure, but it really transforms. And what an appreciation for the power of your mind and of sensing in the body and how we can interpret our experience in the way we want to. But the big thing I want to leave you with related to meditation is it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be something that you need to study for years to do. You can just take some time aside. This is one thing that I think you do need to do, is just take some time aside from doing things all the time in your to-do list. And just sit with yourself quietly, eyes open or closed, and just sense into your body or your space in here instead of the busyness in your head. And watch the thoughts without trying to stop or change anything. Just be with what is. That could be walking in nature, that could be sitting in the backyard and just looking at the trees or the star, the sun. That could be finding a nice quiet space in your house and sitting. Watching the breath seems to be a very helpful way, using breath as a bridge to bring you to that place. But it doesn't have to be fancy to get started doing this. And I find it discouraging when people make it too complex. It can be a deterrent for some people. It's like, well, I have to make time to do all these things and sit for exact this amount of time, and I have to remember these steps until it becomes habit. If that's a deterrent from you getting into meditation, well, once I have time to do all these different things, then I'll do the full, really super duper meditation method. When really, we could do it right now, take 5 minutes of the amount of time to think of planning it later, and just sit. And wow. Do that every day, a little bit longer, start to see what comes up and see how you transform. And it's amazing. So maybe this will reach some people in a different way, and they'll maybe reframe the way they look at meditation or think of that just sitting with your, being aware of your heart and watching things without judgment and seeing what comes up. Maybe that will be like, oh, never looked at that. Yeah, I could do that. And if so, that's amazing. Until next time, stay awake, okay?